The second thing I want to talk to you today about is body composition. Okay, so this is body composition is how much fat mass, how much muscle mass you've got. Now, what you'll probably find is most recreational athletes taking on the coast to coast, and most athletes in general can do with losing a little bit of fat mass. Okay, losing some weight if you like, and that's because the less weight you've got to carry over the mountain at the coast to coast, the easier it's going to be, the more efficient you're able to be. Okay, so you've got a bigger engine that we're going to build through your training, and what we want to do is streamline our body so that we're not carrying any extra weight that we don't have to. Now, the time to lose fat mass is now. It's because we've got a long time before the actual race, so we've got time to do it. Secondly, if we restrict a little bit of energy now, it's not going to impact on our training, because our training is that nice, steady, skill-based, endurance-based training. If we were to start trying to lose weight and cut some fat mass in, say, January, where our training load's higher, the intensity's higher, your training is going to suffer because of that. So doing it now, small incremental drops in that fat mass as we progress towards the coast to coast is the best way to do it. And losing weight or manipulating your body composition or losing fat mass is very closely coupled with diet or nutrition. Now, the word diet often has a lot of negative connotations running around LinkedIn with it. Diet is simply what you eat. Okay, it's not about restricting energy intake. It's not about counting calories or crazy fad diets. Diet is simply what you eat. I personally think that nutrition is made way too complex for people. What I want to do is just break it down and starting to think big whole picture things at the moment, and then as we work towards the coast to coast, introducing a few key things as we go, keeping it really simple so that you can get the biggest benefit from the smallest possible changes to your diet. What I want to do is give you 5 simple basic steps to start working on right now so that we start getting your diet in a good sort of fashion, so that when we get into our heavier training loads, we're more able to deal with them. So step number 1 is cut the crap out of your diet. Now, I'm not going to give you a big long list of foods that are bad for you or that you should avoid. You know the crap foods that you're eating, okay? Some of you may say, oh, I don't actually eat that much. It's just a few things here and there. Others may say, shit, that's the majority of my diet seems to be sort of crap food at the moment. So what we want to do is start making small cuts, getting some of that crap food out, bringing good food in, okay? So start making small changes. You don't have to say, I'm not going to eat sugar, I'm not going to eat blah, 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 I'm not going to eat fast foods ever again, because if you say that, there's no way you're going to do it, okay? And you're going to get those cravings for it, and you're probably going to end up worse off than you were. What I want you to do is just make small changes, cut a little bit out each day, each week, whatever it be. Just start making some slightly better choices. Rule number 2 is I want you to try and choose fresh, whole foods to start with. Okay, fresh whole foods rather than processed, packaged, refined foods. Okay, if you choose whole, fresh foods, number 1, all the nutrients in those are more bioavailable to your body. And what bioavailability means is that your body is more able to access all the nutrients, the vitamins, the minerals in that food and actually use them. You can get more vitamins and minerals out of fresh fruit and vegetables than you can actually out of a vitamin. Okay, it seems crazy, but what happens is all those vitamins in the fresh fruit are more available to your body, whereas your body is not actually able to absorb a lot of the vitamins in the sort of supplement pills that you take. And that's why when you take a vitamin supplement, you've probably all seen it, when you go to the toilet, you're just peeing out all the vitamins in that highlighted green or yellow pee that you're peeing out. So choose whole foods first. Now a lot of people think, well, what about the sports food? What about my gels? What about my sports drinks? What about my protein shakes? At the moment, your training's not at a level where you need to be taking in a lot of those sports foods. They are important, and we will use them later down the track when our training volume is higher and when we're training specifically for what we're going to eat on race day. But at the moment, you can use mainly whole foods to get you through your training and on a day-to-day basis. The whole idea at the moment is developing a good structural base nutrition or diet so that you're able to support good health and good function first and foremost. Once we can support good health and function, we can start thinking about our performance on top of that. But you can't have performance if you have poor health. So to choose fresh and whole foods, because some of you may be thinking, well, what's fresh, what's whole foods, what's it all about? What I want you to focus on doing is shopping around the edge of the supermarket. Okay, that's where all your fresh whole foods are located. Down the aisles, it's all going to be processed, packaged foods. So shopping around the edge. You walk into a supermarket, first place you're at is usually in the fresh fruit and veggie aisle. Okay, go around the back of the supermarket. That's typically where your meat is kept. So choosing some good quality protein through the meat section, and then down the other side of the supermarket is typically where your dairy products are kept. So choosing some good quality dairy from down the sides there. If you do the most of your shopping around the edge of the supermarket, you're on the good track for selecting those whole, fresh, unprocessed foods. Another good tip is to choose foods with minimal packaging. Packaging is usually to try and keep things fresh, and that's because they're either processed or they've come a long way from somewhere, so they're trying to keep them fresh through all this packaging. So if you're through the veggie aisle there, you'll notice that very, very few things have got packaging on them because they're fresh fruit and vegetables. They don't need packaging. If you go into the middle aisles, you'll notice most things have got packaging because they're probably 3, 4, 5 months old. They've been sitting in a vacuum packed bag. Okay, they've been processed, so they're not going to break down. So if we can avoid packaging, large amount of packaging on foods, we typically gravitate towards better fresh whole food options. Okay, so just another tip there. Little changes often, that's what we're about. So if you start shopping a little bit more around the outside, buying more fresh produce, start minimising that packaging from the aisles, you're going to take small steps towards where you need to be. Now, step number 3, I want you to pack your lunch every day. So no matter if you're heading off to work, off to university, no matter where you are, I want you to pack your lunch and take it with you. If you've got your lunch there with you, you're less likely to choose bad food options at lunchtime when you think, oh, I haven't eaten since breakfast, I need something. What's available? Most things that are available these days are rubbish, okay? So we want to take good, fresh, whole foods to work with us so that we can snack on them during the day, and we've got that ability to moderate our energy intake, and we've got enough energy to train. Now, rule number 4, I want you to eat more of your daily food intake in the morning, okay, from when you wake up to lunchtime. Now, what most people do is they'll wake up, they may have small breakfast or even skip breakfast, get to lunchtime, feeling hungry, and then they sort of just grab some pies, some chips, some whatever it is that's available. Then they don't eat anything until they get home, and then they get home and they're extremely hungry, and they just grab anything that they can get their hands on out of the cupboards before training or after training, and they get into this emotional eating pattern. Now, that's very negative, okay? What we want to do is if we can eat more of our daily food intake in this morning period, by the time we get to the afternoon, we're not as hungry because we've eaten a lot, so we tend to eat less in the evening. And if we eat less in the evening, what tends to happen is we consume less energy throughout the whole day, which is going to help with shedding those a little bit of that fat mass at this time of the year. So eat more in the mornings so that you're not as hungry in the evening, so you don't go back for seconds or thirds at dinner time, okay? Now, rule number 5, fifth and final rule, you've probably all heard the saying, treat your body like a temple. I want to get rid of that. We don't want to treat our body like a temple, okay? I want you to treat your body like a high-performance engine, okay? A high-performance engine. If you don't put the good stuff in, you're not going to get the good stuff out. Crap in equals crap out. Let's start thinking about what you're putting in your body and why you're putting it there. You're putting it there to fuel your body. You're putting good proteins in to repair your body so it can repair that engine, make it bigger and stronger. If you're putting crap food in, your body's not able to get what it needs out of it, so it can't fuel your muscles in the right way. So start thinking that your body is an engine and treating it the same. 5 simple tips there, okay? We don't want to make big changes. Small regular changes is good. Just like your training, consistency is the key. Now we'll be talking about how much food you need during your training. We're going to talk about how you're going to best optimize your recovery. We're going to talk about how your hydration and your nutrition strategy is going to come together for race day. But at the moment, we don't need to be thinking too much about that. Make some small changes in your diet now so we've got a good base platform for health and function, and then we can start putting the icing on the cake, if you like, when it comes to our performance. Get out there, get training. If you've got any questions that we can help address in future videos, let me know. Email me and we'll get those answers for you guys so that you can train as best as you can for the coast to coast.